What's up, guys? Iceman here.
Welcome to the Diablo 4 spiritual journey. Like this damn video if you will, subscribe to the page, and pull that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons, links in the description below. So, I think I found the best freaking necromancer armor in existence, okay? And not only did I find the best freaking necromancer armor in existence, but I found one with 2 greater affixes out of the 4 that it has. So I don't know if these unique items can roll up to 4 greater affixes. I know that with rares, or legendaries rather, they can roll at max 3 greater affixes. So can someone let me know in the comments? Can these roll 4 greater affixes? Because they have 4 like main stats to them. I don't know. But Razor Plate, ancestral unique chest armor. This armor is a freaking hog. You're a freaking razorback pig wearing this shit. And the thing is, with a necromancer, most of their stats transfer over to the minions, or all of them for that matter. I'm not really sure how it works. But most, if not all of the thorns, reflects off of your minions as well. And you could even temper your gear to where the enemies will take enhanced thorns damage. But check this shit out. I masterworked this thing 8 out of 12 already, so it's giving a ton of armor. It gives 4,650 thorns, plus 9,717 thorns, plus 9,717 thorns, plus 5,658 thorns. And then it has this unique mod. Thorns has a 10% chance to deal 105% increased damage. So let's take a look at my overall thorns on this character. 32,129 thorns damage. And then on this offhand that I have, which is actually one of the only 3 greater affixes legendary item that I found thus far. I've probably found 2 or 3 of these at max. So my character is 100 now. I don't know how many hours I've invested. But fortunately, it's in an offhand, which has nice mods on it, all of which I could use. Has the greater affix of intelligence, greater affix of maximum life, greater affix of percent damage added at 58.5. And I masterworked this thing 5 out of 12 so far, which reminds me, I need to masterwork it more. And then, of course, I tempered a minion attack speed, golem's damage, but the legendary mod that I have on this is why I'm going a one-handed weapon and an offhand so that I can have 2 different legendary aspects, because it's quite important with this build that I'm trying to conjure up, which is like a Thorns summon damage sort of hybrid build. And it's been a damn good time so far. I think the highest rift I've completed, or pit rather, has been 58 or something like that. So I'm still working on that. We'll see how well that goes. But the journey has just begun, all right? But nonetheless, this legendary mod states this. Thorns damage dealt has a 38% chance to deal damage to all enemies around you and your minions. So we're just doubling, tripling, quadrupling up on all that bullshit. So I'm going to show you what the gameplay is kind of like with this necromancer. And I'm going to try the highest nightmare dungeon that I've tried so far, which is tier 99. I think this is just one away from max, isn't it? So let's go there. And I suppose I will just take this elixir just for the hell of it. I usually don't use elixirs. But here's the dungeon. Dead Man's Dredge. Let's see how it goes. Wish me luck. But let me know if you're playing Diablo 4 and where you're at, what your character's level so far. I've been enjoying it. So, yeah, it's been a damn good time. So, here we are in the dungeon. Here's my playstyle. What I do is I curse the enemies, I run up to them, I hit one, I generate a corpse from that, then I cast Corp Tendrils, and it pulls them all in, and then I make my golem attack. And then, of course, I'll cast Army of the Dead. I'll continue cursing the enemies. I'll get in there and swing my scythe a little bit if I can. Ooh. There's a big boss already. Corpse Tendrils. You gotta watch out for things popping. Shit'll pop and kill your character, so that gets me every time. But yeah, so I run up, I'll generate a corpse with my Reap. I know this isn't an optimal build, I haven't looked up a guide. This is just the kind of necromancer that I really wanted to play as. A scythe swinging, cursing, minions-driven necromancer with a ton of thorns damage, evidently. I didn't know I wanted the thorns damage, but I found that armor, and I decided to give it a try. I can't even recall who dropped this thing. I might have found it just in Helltides. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe I found it from one of the Ubers. Ooh. There's some boots with a greater affix. Dodge chance, so that's kind of shitty. The boots I have aren't all that great. They don't have greater affix, but they have intelligence roll, maximum life, 15% movement speed, and I tempered more movement speed, and I tempered corpse tendril size, which is really important for this build. So, but you can only, it maxes out at 100. And I think there's a way to see somewhere in here how much power you have added to that. Because you can only go up to 100% increased curse size, corpse explosion size, and corpse tendril size. So don't go over that, otherwise it's just kind of a waste. But yeah, so far this is the highest, like I said, it's the highest Nightmare Dungeon I've tried, and this is quite easy. So let's get up in there, Grill. Holy shit. This character is just destroying. But yeah, that Thorns damage, every single time, I mean, that's, you know, it's quite a bit. It's 32,000, so it's, I don't know how much it's actually helping the character. I have cleared the highest rift wearing this armor, and I need to temper it some more. It's only 8 out of 12. Well, I guess that's pretty high. But you have to do a 60 rift or greater to get the remaining 12 out of 12 gear, whatever it is, the shit that you find in the dungeon. You can only find the shit to get it 8 out of 12 in greater, or greater than 8 out of 12. It has to be a 60 pit or greater. So ideally, I want to just make a character that can do 60, a level 60 pit. And I think that it's quite essential that that's where they keep the item chases. They don't force you to go a higher rift to get the best shit. Otherwise, it's just going to pigeonhole us into one single build like what Diablo 3 did. If that's where the chase is. So, yeah, I think that the chase really has to be in the items. Which, this has been a pretty damn good time. Just tempering the items, masterworking. The tempering has a limitation, of course. You can only temper it 5 different times, I believe. And then you brick it if you don't get what you want. So it's just all the more of the item chase, you know what I'm saying? It's been a pretty damn good time. Strangely enough, gold has actually been one of the most annoying things to farm for. Because you need the gold to switch up your affixes, to temper your gear, to masterwork your gear, and all that other shit. So, and I have been getting my ass kicked to some extent, so gold is a hot commodity. And it looks like there's another item with a legendary affix on it. Let's see what that is. Or a greater affix. 180% overpower damage. That's not really something I'm all that familiar with. Overpower with a necromancer. I don't know. I'm sure there's some of the skills or gear that'll offer that, but I don't think the necromancer necessarily specializes in overpower like, say, the druid does. Another thing that's really important to note is that the whole item power thing right up here, or attack power, that's very misleading. I can add attack speed on my ring, and this number doesn't even go up at all. So it's really odd. I'm not really sure how this shit calculates. I feel like the same could be said when I had, like, critical strike damage on the ring. This shit didn't move at all, so I'm like, what the hell? So don't be deceived by the whole attack power thing, all right? I think that that's quite misleading. Yeah, but the overpower thing, I don't know if I don't know if this if the summon necro benefits off that all that much. But we'll keep going. The item chase though has been quite a spiritual journey. I've been enjoying the world boss, the hell tides. There's just so much shit falling in the hell tides. It's almost too much. Just shit is just raining from the sky. Feels a little bit too much like Diablo 3 down in there. But yeah, the gold chase has been interesting. So I wouldn't be surprised if they add like gold find elixirs or something like that in the next season. What the hell is this? God damn, are you kidding me? What the hell just killed my character? And do I still have that? Okay, good, the potion stays intact. So a couple more legendaries right there. Let's go fetch these things. I think Nightmare Dungeons, I think the highest level is 100. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of hope that's the case. Again, similarly to why I feel that the item chase shouldn't be at the tippy top of the greater rifts or pits. I think that the Nightmare Dungeons should have a limit where it'll allow more builds to thrive. Because again, if you have the item chase just be in the number crunch to the top, if that's where the chase is, the good gear, the best stuff you can get, if it's going to be there, it's just going to pigeonhole us all into the same frickin' build, and that's a problem. Just like Diablo 2, for example, it doesn't have that problem. And people have played that game for decades and still are playing it. And of course you could argue, well, there's no end game in Diablo 2, and that's probably kind of true. But the itemization and all that in the game is key, and the item chase is key. How rare the Jaw rune is, how rare the Zod rune is, how rare the Tyrael's Might is. I've been playing that game for 25 freaking years. I've never found a Tyrael's Might. I found one Zod rune in my time. I found one Wind Force in my time. I've never found a Grandfather, so there's just all sorts of shit it's just nearly impossible to find, you know, and I think that's a good thing to add that into the game. But I don't know to what extent they're going to go there with Diablo 4. I know they went there maybe too far in the first season or two, where like one person in the entire world had a Chakra or whatever. Maybe that was a bit excessive, I don't know, but I still like having super rare items that only a few people find. I think that should be something that they still have in the game, and maybe that is here. Maybe that's like a 4 greater affix razor plate, for example, if 4 is even possible. I just don't know, but perhaps, I guess that would be maybe the rarity, even though what kind of sucks in that is then you're just chasing the slightly higher numbers. And you're not actually chasing something that's game-altering a bit. Like, for example, in Diablo 2, the making of an Infinity. You know, an Infinity where you could finally break immunities with your character and just switch things up entirely. And all of a sudden you could play your lightning build in places you weren't able to play it before. And you could kill enemies you weren't able to kill before. You know, things like that. So things that allowed for a little bit of a game-changing experience. Rather than just simply slightly higher numbers, which I guess would be the case if the chase is just chasing these items with slightly higher, greater affixes on them. It'll be like Diablo 3 and the ancient items all over again. But let me know what your thoughts are on all that. Like I said, I just... God damn! Dumbass! Holy shit. Am I going to be able to complete this dungeon? I'm just screwing around is the problem. So I only have 2 revives left. Let's get those mages and all that up. My build is pretty simple, I guess. Well, actually, it's quite complex for Diablo 3 because I have points everywhere. I don't level up my skills really, except for Golem Mastery, Skeleton Mastery, and Skeletal Mage Mastery. I don't have like Decrepify, any more points into that. Just 1 point into Reap, 3 points into Hewed Flesh. 3 points into Spiked Armor. I kind of needed the armor boost. I'll probably take some out of this later, but this is the Thorn builds. This is the Thorns build after all, so maybe I'll keep them there for a minute. 3 points into Skeletal Warrior Mastery. But yeah, it's been interesting because now the chase is kind of in. Apparently finding a body armor with +3 to Golem Masters at +2 is really key in getting your Necromancer to crit a lot, because your Golem is pretty much the best damage giver when it comes to your summons. I have been finding gear with mage damage on. I've been using that, been tempering mage damage in some of my gear, just experimenting. The mages are cool, you know, they're ranged, they can go shadow, cold, bone, and all that, but nonetheless, I did that. I put 1 into Grim Harvest, 1 into Fueled by Death, just for the hell of it. 3 into Death's Approach, 3 into Amplify Damage, just kind of reminiscence of Diablo 2, so that's kind of fun. And that is just a spec for your 2 options in terms of your curses, so it enhances them. So you either Iron Maiden or Decrepify can have amplify damage applied. And then I went this route with Decrepify. 3 out of 3 here for Gruesome Mending. My mages heal me a little bit, so that's kind of nice. The potions and all that. Only 1 into Corpse Tendrils. Maybe I need to boost that up a little bit more. I just don't know. 3 out of 3 here for Necrotic Carapace. That's how you say. And getting over here, I haven't really put too much thought into this shit. I'm probably going to revisit it. In fact, I might even go a Shadow Blight build, which I think is what I'm going to do after this video. Just screw on with Shadow Blight instead of Kalan's Edict or whatever, however you say that. Your minions gain 3% attack speed for each active minion. Okay. Yeah, I might go this whole Shadow Blight route, and I'm going to try to push the Greater Rifts with that. 3 into Golem Mastery. I go Army of the Dead. I just love Army of the Dead. It's just fucking awesome. Bonded in Essence, 3 out of 3. Whatever these are. I need to look at this stuff because I haven't really messed with this in a while. Paragon is probably far from optimal, but that's fine. Shit, I almost forgot. Is this on a timer? I don't think it's on a timer. So let's keep going. Let's finish this off. Get to the boss. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. She's stuck. Corpse tendrils again. Yeah, and the harder stuff, I stay back a little bit, because if I get up in the grill, sometimes they'll pop, kill my character. Alright. Free the prisoners. And when you go through your gear, you can hit spacebar to turn it into junk or whatever, and then you can hit it again and it unturns it. And that really keeps it simple, so when you go to, crunch all this stuff into materials, you know what you want to crunch and what you don't want to crunch. So you can do this before you go to the blacksmith, and it's really helpful. Just kind of look at your gear and mark it as junk. And then you don't accidentally crunch it if you're kind of looking at it as you crunch it, you know what I'm saying? It kind of eliminates that issue. You just got to make sure that you mark the correct pieces. Alright, let's free those prisoners. There we are, one more. But so far, even after hitting 100, it still is a journey. You know, the whole chase for the items, chase for the godly gear. I think in a perfect world, I don't think you should be able to get to 100 so easily. I think it's a bit unfortunate that they did that. Similarly to in Diablo 2, where it shows the true commitment of a player if you get to 100. You know, you can't get it in just a couple days or whatever. Oh shit, that was the boss. See how quickly I destroyed the boss. And there's a 100 rift now that I have access to. Or Nightmare Dungeon, rather. So I'm going to level up this glyph and be on my way. Oh shit, I need to level up this one. So I'll probably do another dungeon. But I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I'll see you in my next one. Peace be with you.